We're at Atomos to talk about a new Shogun Ultra and Shogun and all the connectivity features and other new stuff in Atomos 11.
This is a CineD Gear News video supported by B&H and CVP.
Welcome to IBC 2023. I'm here at the Atomos booth with Paul. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks.
It's been a while since we talked, I think. But you guys have been busy. There's a lot of new products. And most recently, I think the Shogun Ultra. What can you tell me about it?
This is an incredibly busy time, actually, because we've just literally, at the show, announced two new Shoguns, the Shogun and the Shogun Ultra. And that's really hot on the heels of, it was only a few weeks ago, as you know, we launched the Ninja and the Ninja Ultra. And it's really nice for, that's been in development for a long time. We've got a new platform, a new OS 11 that runs across all of those four products. And it's nice for me to see all those new products coming to market, bringing it to international trade show like this and seeing the reaction. So it's great. It's nice to see.
Well, what's different in terms of hardware?
Well, in terms of hardware, there's a lot of, we've got the new platform with the new OS, it's much faster. We've got, there's some new features like, on the Ultras we have ProRes RAW dual record. We're now, with the extra new platform, we're able to go up to 4K 60 rather than 4K 30 with ProRes RAW and proxy. So there's lots of enhancements that we've made, like 4K NDI, 4K H.265 uploads to the cloud. So we're sort of ramping things up a bit with the new platform.
And it seems like you've tried to unify the whole OS experience, right, across the devices, because it wasn't the same for every one of the older models. And it seems more unified now, if I'm not mistaken.
That's exactly what we've tried to do because, hopefully we've made it very clear now exactly how the differentiation between the products. So if we take the new products, for instance, if we take the Ninja and the Shogun, they're completely aligned on the features and the horsepower that's underneath it on the platform. They're all completely aligned. So really, and then the Ninja Ultra and the Shogun Ultra, again, they're obviously much higher performance products, but they're aligned. So really then the user then thinks, okay, I then choose the Ninja, it's a 5-inch platform. The Shogun is a 7-inch, 2000 nit platform. And then the other major difference, I guess, between the Ninja and the Shogun is that Shogun natively is an offline device, but you can attach the Atomos Connect unit to that to turn it into a completely connected device. And then once that's attached, it's very similar then to the Shogun, which has all the network connectivity built in. But then it's really easy to understand the differences then, and you're just making a very simple choice about what size of screen.
In terms of software and connectivity, because we're already talking about connectivity, you guys have been doing a lot of things about camera to cloud. And I think that's a little bit expanding now, right? It's not just Frame.io anymore.
Yeah, we've made a lot of movements on that. We've got Frame.io, which is incredibly successful. I mean, in the last year, or maybe it's even 18 months, it was NAB 2022, we launched that service. The growth rate of camera to cloud with Frame.io is insane, like in terms of users and people using it on our platform. So that's amazing. We then expanded it to Sony CineD as well as a camera to cloud platform. And then there's another method of getting content directly off a camera into a cloud. We've now got that into Atomos Edit, which is our web browser-based system of getting content exactly in the same way, using our progressive upload sort of feature, which you could use for any of the services, of getting content directly off an Atomos device from any HDMI or SDI camera, straight onto into a bin and on a timeline in Atomos Edit, and then being able to publish directly to a social platform like YouTube or Vimeo. But also what we announced here at the show, literally on the first day with a press release as well, is that we now have a Premiere Pro extension for Atomos Edit, which we'll be able to ship within a few weeks. We've just got a demo here, a beta version here on the booth. So not only can you have your Atomos Edit pane, your window within Premiere, you can now take that content, which is almost in real time, come from your Atomos hardware, and drag it straight onto a Premiere Pro timeline. So if you're an Adobe customer and you want to craft edit, or you're already in that workflow, an Adobe workflow, and all the tools for that, you can literally seamlessly bring all that content in. So you can be literally working on a project in Premiere minutes after you've generated that content from anywhere in the world.
Nice. And you guys actually, if I remember correctly, the proxy starts uploading before I actually press stop, right?
It does, yeah. So what happens, we've got this progressive upload technology. So as you're actually recording, that file is going up into Atomos Cloud Studio. The second you stop recording, it just takes a few moments then to close off the file and hand it over cloud to cloud.
So it doesn't have to only start uploading once you're done.
Yeah.
So let's say you do a long interview, it's already doing that in the background. It's just closing off the file when you press stop.
Totally. So, I mean, let's say you've got a live event and you've been recording for an hour and a half. Literally, once you press stop, within a couple of minutes, the whole of that file will be ready to edit on Atomos Edit, Frame.io. So it's a really powerful feature. Again, something that we developed at the beginning, and we didn't realize how useful that would be. But that's, a lot of long form events. People don't want to start uploading the file once you've stopped.
Exactly. I mean, I shoot long interviews. Yeah, people shoot long concerts and stuff, especially for the broadcast sector. I think these things are really important. Yeah. But there's also something else. I think you have RemoteView. That's also, how does that work? I'm not familiar with that.
RemoteView, yeah. RemoteView is a brand new feature for OS 11 for our new products. And what RemoteView is it's a really easy way of getting video around the world or even to the next soundstage or video village. You can have up to 4 camera inputs. And those camera inputs could be any new Atomos device or any existing Atomos connected device. They can be a camera input into a RemoteView session. And then you can then route those 4 cameras in any way. So you can create a quad split, side by side, picture in picture, whatever you want to configure those 4 inputs. And then you can send them to 4 different destinations, as in monitor slots. And this is all done just via the web UI. So someone could just configure this anywhere in the world and it just pops out the other end. So let's say you've got, you're on a soundstage or you're doing an event and you've got your 4 cameras there or whatever it is, 2 cameras, and you can just configure it and you've got your client out in a different place, they're at home or they're in a different country, and you want them to see the output of all 4 cameras or 1 camera. You can effectively have 4 monitor slots and they can view that content in the monitor slot on Atomos OS 11 hardware, so like a Ninja or a Shogun, which is great also because if you're feeding that as a monitor slot, if you imagine that's just a receiver, you've got HDMI out or SDI out on the Shogun, so you could feed it into an SDI workflow or even an HDMI large monitor. So it's a way of getting video also with a loop through. But we also then support Apple TV, so also you could pop up in Apple TV in that monitor slot or iPad or Mac. So that monitor could be any of those things. And then what we can do is we're not only just routing 4 devices into 4 outputs, we can add watermarks and labels and overlays to each of those inputs. So let's say, obviously, in a classic way on Video Village, you've got 4 cameras. You might want to label them camera A, B, C, D, name of the camera person or whatever it is, or where the source is coming from. You can easily do that with putting on an overlay on each input. And then let's say you were sending one of your monitor feeds, you were sending it to an executive producer or maybe someone outside the organization, and you wanted to make sure that for security, you wanted to put some watermarking on there to make sure that they couldn't reuse it. You can put that over the output as well. So you've not only got the input overlays, you've got the output watermarking. Or you might be doing a corporate event and you want to put your logo in the corner on the whole output. So it's
So this kind of turns into a production live switcher in a way, almost. I mean, it's like a viewer, at least.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's sort of based on the really low latency protocol that we've got for our live production. So within our Atomos Cloud Studio, you can use our devices into a live production. It's the same sort of technology. So it's server based. So it's all running in the cloud. It's a pay-as-you-go service, a very cost-effective pay-as-you-go service. So, but you're only paying for it while you're using it.
What other new features do we have in OS 11?
Well, in terms of offline features for OS 11, we've got a couple of really cool features which are more sort of scheduling. So, like we have record assist and playback assist, and that allows you to either set a countdown timer or an actual trigger event at a certain time for either recording or playback. And that ties in quite nicely with time lapse as well. So we did a case study quite recently, actually, where it was actually a rocket launch in China, and obviously there are lots of events probably where even pyrotechnics where you want to set everything up, you know it's going to happen at a certain time, but then personnel can't be there at that time. So it's a great way of being able to use your device and trigger it at certain times. So that's Record Assist, Playback Assist. And then we've also added, obviously there are loads of tools within our products that people are used to using in monitoring tools and vector scopes and RGB parade, frame guides, onion skin. But we've added on false color, we've always had Atomos false color, but we've added two new false color. We've got ARRI false color in there now for OS 11, and we've got EL zone system colorized exposure. So you've now got three different options for people. And then again, that's gone down really well with people.
The EL system is Ed Lackman ASC's system, right? That he invented.
That's right, and it's really picking up, isn't it? The use of it.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. And thanks everybody for watching. Stay tuned to CineD for a lot more from IBC 2023. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.